Hello, Year 11. I'm just going to share so that you can see me and my presentation. Okay, so hello, Year 11. If you're watching this video, then you are working from home. I hope that you're all safe and well. In this presentation, I'm going to be talking through these things. I'm going to give you an overview of your schoolwork requirements and explain what is expected of you whilst you're at home. I'm going to give you some tips for working at home. I'm going to be talking to you about the importance of looking after your well-being whilst you're at home. And I'm going to talk to you about your future post-GCSEs. So in September 2021, when you've done your GCSEs and you've left Year 11. Before I do that, however, I think it's really important to remind you that we are in the middle of a global pandemic. And if we don't follow the rules, then the pandemic is going to continue. So remember, if you do develop coronavirus symptoms, you must contact the NHS to get tested and stay at home. The symptoms include a high temperature, a new continuous cough, a loss of or change to your sense of smell or taste. And you could have any one of those symptoms. You must stay at home, get tested. And also I want to remind you that whilst you're at home, please don't mix with other households. That means you can't mix with other people who don't live in your house. Okay. So I'm going to talk you through your schoolwork requirements whilst you're at home. So what you need to complete. The first thing that you'll need to complete is you'll need to complete one assignment per subject per week. And we want you to complete one quiz per subject per week. Now, if that sounds confusing, don't worry. Every day I will send out an email with a reminder of what work is due by the end of that day. So I'll say, these are the subjects, these are the assignments, these are the quizzes, this is all the work that is due by the end of the day. So don't worry about that. I'm going to play this video for you so that you can see just a reminder of how to access your schoolwork. You should definitely be checking your school emails because your teachers will be emailing you and giving you extra support and help. And I will be emailing you, of course, so you need to be looking at those. But this is just a reminder of how to access your schoolwork on Microsoft Teams. All of your teachers have been doing lots of hard work to make sure that all of your work is on Microsoft Teams. So I'll just press play for you. So you click on Microsoft Teams to open it up. You go to which particular team you want to look at. I've chosen Spanish with Miss Matthews. You click on files and that shows you all the different folders that they've put work in for you. You click on assignments and that shows you the quizzes and the assignments that have been set for you. Okay, so I'm now going to talk to you about tips for working from home. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to talk to you about is about creating a designated workspace. It's important that while you're at home that you will sat at a desk with natural light, in a quiet part of your house if it's possible, where there are no distractions. I know lots of you have got younger siblings who might want you to come and play, or they might want to come and talk to you, but it's really important while you're at home doing your schoolwork that you are sat somewhere where you can be sat at a desk, whether that be a pop-up desk that you can buy and just put in front of you while you're sat on the sofa, or whether that be the dining table where you would normally sit and eat. It's important for you to be sat at a desk with some natural light coming from the outside and somewhere quiet where you won't be distracted. The other point that I wanted to raise for you is about adding structure to your day. So to do that, I would recommend waking up at the normal time that you would normally wake up for school. Write a list every single morning outlining what you need to do that day. The email that I send will help you with that. So as soon as I send that email to say what work is due that day, get out a piece of paper and write your to-do list so that you can tick off those tasks as you get them done. I'd also recommend working for a few hours on one subject and then moving on to a new subject just to keep your brain engaged. If you do the same thing for too many hours, you're just going to get distracted and you're not going to focus. Okay, so it's really important to make a designated workspace and to keep that space just for your schoolwork, and also to add structure to your day so that you are not getting distracted, so that you are not getting stressed. We want to help you as much as we can. So the next thing that I would like to talk to you about is I want to just remind you of how important it is to be looking after your well-being. I'm going to put some pictures up on the slide for you, and these are just some of the things that came to my mind when I was thinking about how do I help the Year 11s to remember of how to look after their well-being. So it's important that you take regular breaks. Okay, take a breath, take a break, get regular exercise. That could be going for a walk around the local park. It could be doing star jumps on the spot in your bedroom. It could be kicking a football about in the garden. Whatever it is that you can do in your home, it's important to get regular exercise. Another tip I've got for you is stretching every morning and every evening. If you go on YouTube and look for any videos of yoga, beginners yoga, something like that, it's really important to stretch your body out, and it's good for your mind. I think it's really important that you have a good work-life balance, okay? So it's important that when you rest or when you eat, you're doing that away from that designated workspace that I spoke about. So you have a space where you sit down and do your schoolwork, but then when you go to eat or when you go to rest, you are doing that away from your workspace. It's important that we keep a balance between your schoolwork and your home life. That's really important for your well-being. Please make sure you drink enough water. That might seem like a really obvious one, but lots of people forget to do it. It's really good for your brain to be drinking enough water. It's also really important to get enough sleep. Your sleep is really important because while you're asleep, your brain is processing all the information that you've been learning and looking at throughout that day. So getting a good night's sleep is a good way to consolidate that information in your brain. Also, make sure you rest before you go to sleep. It's really important that you're not looking at screens like mobile phones or a laptop or a TV before you go to sleep, as those screens can keep your brain awake. I'd recommend that you read a book instead before you go to sleep. Spend time with your household, with your loved ones. You know, you've got your family around you at home. That's really important to have that quality time. Perhaps you could play games with a pack of cards. Don't forget to laugh. I know this sounds really obvious, but you know, I want you to be looking after yourself while you're at home. I do not want you to be at home stressed, anxious, worrying about your GCSEs, worrying about revision. Make sure that you take that time to relax and have fun and laugh with your family. And then another thing that I thought about in terms of looking after your well-being is about prayer. Okay, so some people pray, some people meditate, and these are just ways that you can look after your well-being, and just to make sure that your mind is being looked after, and your body is being looked after. Okay. And the last thing that I want to talk to you about then, Year 11, is about your future. Okay, so while you're at home, this would normally be the time of year that we would be preparing you for your future. So thinking about whether you're going to go to college or sixth form, going to go to a training centre or do an apprenticeship. colleges and sixth forms, including our sixth form, are already accepting applications for September 2021. So you need to be thinking carefully about what you would like to study next year. Legally, the government says you must be in education or training until you're 18 years old. So I'm going to be making sure that everyone in year 11 applies to at least 2 places. But I think the best way to work out what you want to do next year is don't worry about the distant future. Don't worry about what job you want to go into necessarily. The best thing that I would recommend is just go for the subject and the most interesting, that you get the most joy out of, and that you are the best at. Choose which subject you're the best at the moment in your GCSEs. Which one will you get the best grade in? And I would recommend, applying to our sixth form and studying that subject. If you need some more information about our sixth form, you can go onto the school website. And if you just click on the button that says sixth form, it will bring up lots of information about the courses that we offer, the enrichment that we offer in our sixth form. I think one of the most important and the best parts of our sixth form is the fact that, your teachers, we've known you now for 5 years. So if you come to our sixth form, of course, that means that you will be being taught by people that have known you and care about you for the past, 5 years that we've known you for. Okay, so all that's left to say then, year 11, is that whilst you are at home doing your working from home, doing your schoolwork, if you have any questions, please get in contact. Do not be sat at home worrying, feeling anxious, stressing about your GCSEs and about the work that you need to get done. Please get in contact with either myself or Mr. Jordan. Of course, you can also get in contact with any of your teachers. But if you don't know your teacher's email address, you can just email me, and I will send over their email address to you so that you can ask them some subject-specific questions that I wouldn't know the answer to. And please look after yourself, stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you soon.